If you think about it, this is really amazing what we're doing here. We're actually interacting with our application through these URLs and persisting data, the names of the users, email, and so on. And somewhere in the system, there's a database, which we'll actually be taking a look at later in this tutorial. But for now, I'd like to mention some of the weaknesses of this resource. One of the problems we have is that there are no data validations. So for example, I can just create a new user with a blank name and email address. That's not the kind of thing that you would ordinarily allow on an application that has users signing up. There's no sense of authentication, for example. There's no way to have protected pages. In other words, there's no way to have someone be able to log in. Users can't log into this site. It's just everything is exposed to everyone. There are no tests of anything. There are no automated tests of our application. And that's actually not quite true. There are tests generated by the Rails generate command. But there are no tests that do anything very useful. In particular, there are no tests of validations or authentication or anything like that. There's no layout. There's no styling. There's nothing that looks anything like a real application. This is clearly just a stub. And finally, we have no real understanding. Like this application code here that was generated is just overwhelming. If you're new to Rails, there's just so much going on here. So throughout the rest of this tutorial, we're going to build up these ideas piece by piece, so that by the end of this tutorial, you'll understand basically everything in this file. The thing that we won't cover is, and that I don't really understand all that well, is this line. We won't be talking about these JSON renderings. But everything else we'll be covering in this tutorial.